Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 20th, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review, where I'm reviewing SPX and Condor trade, 0.2 delta, 10 wide, 0-day options. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. This is a virtual trade. This is me training my brain, learning to review this trade, learning to execute this trade, learning to see how this trade actually really works with live data and all. And I have actually played around with it with one contract. Some of the things I've learned from doing that is that I have to be in an account with $25,000 or more. But at this time, the money that I make with one contract is not worth my time, because I have other strategies that I use to do much more, and using that money to make more than what I would do with one contract on this particular strategy. But let's go ahead and that's why I'm still reviewing until I'm really comfortable to be able to trade this at a larger size where I want to really trade it at and all. But let's go ahead and do this trade review and take a look at this. I like looking at the VIX first. The VIX was started out the week kind of low, back down where it was at the beginning of the week. It kind of drifted up a little bit and then back down here Monday and then drifted back up and all. But that's the VIX. It stayed between 22 to a little bit below 20, around 19 or so. And also that kind of impacts on the amount of credit that we actually get on the trade. So that's why I kind of look at that and kind of give me an idea what the VIX was doing that week and when I'm looking at the credits that I actually received and all. But on Monday, I was able to place that iron Condor trade at 60.25, 60.35 on the call side, 59.60, 59.50 on the put side, around a 0.2 delta. Received a $2.30 credit, closed it for $1.65. Opened that trade around 9.39, closed that trade around 9.30, 9.47. Tuesday, I was able to place that iron Condor trade. Placed on the call side was 60.40, 60.50 on the call side, 59.75, 59.65 on the put side, around a 0.2 delta. Received a $2.60 credit, closed it for $1.65. That's a crazy close for $1. Normally don't get that much on this trade, but around the time that it closed, that kind of matches up. And I've been letting that go here because it hasn't been happening too much in here often lately, so I'm just okay with that. On Wednesday, I was able to place that iron Condor at 60.30, 60.40 on the call side, 59.35, 59.25 on the put side, a 0.2 delta, around a 0.2 delta. Received a $3.10 credit, closed it for $2.30 and all. Placed that trade around 9.33, closed that trade around 9.55. This is around the normal stuff that would normally happen with this particular trade and all. Thursday was a holiday. Friday this morning. I closed this trade early, I see, and all. But I was able to place that iron Condor trade at 60.35, 60.45 on the call side, 59.65, 59.55 on the put side, around a 0.2 delta. Received a $3.20 credit. That was kind of high, so that's one other thing that kind of had me nervous. Although I got comfortable at one time getting $3 or more, now I'm kind of nervous about getting $3 or more credit on the trade. So and plus I saw it trending and the VIX was down, so I thought the VIX was going to go up and all. And this thing the VIX did go up and all, but it is dropping as you would expect as the VIX goes up. So I ended up closing it early. I thought that's the whole thing. I was kind of tired and kind of a little confused, so I ended up closing it early. I was at my previous day high. It's kind of crazy. I kind of laugh about it because after looking at it after the fact, I realized I could have waited because I was still a ways away from the strike that I sold, and I was at a point where the market may reverse or it may pop up. That was the whole thing. You don't know what's going to happen when it gets to the previous day high. And my one of my custom pivot was lining up. My custom pivot and it's lining up. A lot of times I do get a rollover or I'm gonna get a pop up. So I didn't know, so I decided to just take a small profit and get out of the trade and all, and that's what I did. And that's just what I did. But let's take a quick look at the numbers and wrap this on up. Let me go over here. Numbers, SPX. What we're doing here is just looking at where I actually placed the trades and all that kind of stuff and verifying the times. I did get in this trade a little late on Monday, and because I remember I did make a mistake too. I had to do the 10 and 90 thing also on Monday and all, and I kind of averaged out. Looked like I kind of averaged out the credit that I actually received, the 240 and the 225, and all on the trade. So that was pretty much that. But then back on, that was Monday, Tuesday, 32, 60, 65. And I did make a mistake on Tuesday too. That was the other thing. I ended up buying this thing and doing something credit. It ended up or something crazy happened and all. So this ended up happening where I had this buy, and on Tuesday I had this other sell and all. So I ended up having a problem on Tuesday, as you can see here on this date, and that's why again you practice this stuff and you see kind of you got to go. I remember that day something was going on and ended up screwing up a little bit and all. But I just played it out like that. And I'll look at the overall numbers here in a second, show you that. And I'm kind of okay with making. I made a small mistake. Something happened, and that's almost like a small mistake. That's like a 35-cent mistake, and that's like $3,000 mistake. So, but on the trade on that same day, if you take a look where I closed it, I made over $1 on that trade. So that kind of like backed it out down to about where it should be, about $6,000 to $7,000 a day on this particular trade, which I am okay with. But then come Friday, that was Tuesday. Wednesday, $3, 210. That's right. On the day, in at 31, out at 41 around that crazy time, this is what happens. And then today, let's just slide this up a little bit. Let me see if I can slide this there. And clear all that up. Again, 320, 285, 320, 285, and all time 32, 45. Yeah, and it was 45. I got out. It was after that time where the market wants. Usually, the market wants to. It can start that reversal thing around that time, or it can start that whole trend thing at that time, and you might get that little reversal a little bit later if it doesn't happen, or you're gonna get that big push up at that time. And that's what encouraged me to get out of this trade a little bit earlier than I really should have. But that's it. That's pretty much all I really want to share. I know I started getting talking when I started really looking at this because it's my first time really looking at it and seeing what I did. But that's it. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll speak to you next week or catch me on my market review. Talk to you later. Right Side Trader here. Bye.